Marinette Du Chang, the protagonist of Miraculous, our titular Ladybug. I don't like her. Welcome to the corner, everyone, where it's always a perfect 90 degrees. And yeah, I don't like Marinette. Now, before all you Marinette stamps come put me in the pillory, yes, I had to look up what that was called. I don't hate Marinette. She's got her moments where she's a good character, and I actually like her. And I know there are worse main characters out there. Like, oh my god, does she have flaws? And I don't mean like character flaws, like she's got an ego or something of that sort. Marinette has writing flaws that lead to her character being awful. Before I begin to rant about her, I just want to say please do not harass or be rude to Thomas Astrick or any of the people who work on this show. I don't know if I need to say this, but I just want to cover bases. Please don't go and harass anyone. These are just my opinions, and if you like Marinette, more power to you. I'm glad you like her. But I unfortunately do not, so here I am. First thing first, her hero outfit. I know this doesn't have anything to do with writing, but I just have to get this off my chest. What the fuck is this outfit? Like, what is this? Look at it! It's not ugly, don't get me wrong, but it's so boring. It's literally just red spandex with black dots and a mask with the same color scheme. Her hair is the exact same as her civilian design, and I searched for any difference. And I mean, she has little red ribbons, and I think her hero hair is a little more blue, question mark. But it's like barely a difference from her civilian design. Heck, these two designs are barely different from each other anyway. I don't understand how nobody in this show has put two and two together that Marinette and Ladybug are the same person. It annoys me to no end. Another thing that bugs me is that her outfit doesn't even look like a ladybug. If you compare her design to other characters whose outfits try to call back to the animal they are based on, Ladybug has nothing. Cat Noir's outfit looks like a cat with the ears and tail. Rita Rouge does a lot of things to get the idea of a fox to the viewer, with the way her hair is colored and the details on her outfit. Even Queen Bee does more with the markings on her outfit, her hair, and the little attendants on her head. Ladybug's outfit is just too basic and boring, and I know people say that the reason her outfit is so plain is because when she first became Ladybug, she wasn't ready, so her outfit reflects that. But she seems pretty confident now, so why hasn't the outfit changed? But Sabrina, what about the Lucky Charm I knew you were gonna say that. And yes, I know about the Lucky Charm outfit. And honestly, I like it. It's definitely an improvement, but she only gets it when she uses Lucky Charm. And she still wears that basic outfit. And when you think about the fact that this is supposed to be a magical girl show, a genre known for extravagant and interesting designs for their characters' magical outfits, yeah, there's a problem here. But I've been rambling too long at this point. If you want to hear more about how I'd fix her design, let me know and I'll do a video redesigning her. Anyway, let's actually get into the writing problems of Marinette, starting with Marinette is an actual creepy stalker. She stalks Adrian to an astronomical degree. It's so weird, and they act like it's okay or it's funny. It's not. It's creepy and it's problematic. When you ask people what's one wrong thing about Marinette, it's her creepy and stalkerish tendencies. When I watched the first season and the first few episodes, she wasn't that bad. Mostly because she hadn't done anything stalkery. She just seemed like she had a huge crush that they sort of exaggerated for laughs. But nothing too harmful. But then they busted out the fact that this girl has a whole ass poster board with Adrian's schedule of where he is at every hour of every day for like what, the next 3 years? That part was revealed later on, but still, what the hell? One, how? And two, why? Why would they write this into her character? And also, why would she even need this information? What else would you do with this info except to stalk? This is even the worst thing she's done. She's so protective of Adrian. When Lila tries to get with Adrian, Marinette loses it. Now, I know she was lying to Adrian, and yeah, I can understand Marinette wanting Adrian to know that she is trying to manipulate him. But the way she went about it was way too far. Becoming Ladybug to absolutely rip this girl a new one? Like, hello, with great power comes great responsibility? Did the words of Uncle Ben mean nothing to you? Another thing with Lila is that one episode, Oni-chan, I think, Lila gets to wiggle herself into going to Adrian's house to work on schoolwork. And when Marinette finds out, she follows them to his house and tries to break in. Like, what? And what's even more insane is that she is caught by a fireman, and what does he do? Does he A, take her to a police station, B, take her to her parents and tell them how much of a freak she is, or C, help her break into this boy's house so she could stalk him? Did you guess A or B? Good! You're wrong! He fucking helps her! He gives her a rope so she can stabilize the trash cans and jump this fence. Like, does no one see a problem with this? If that happened in the real sensible world, and these people's IQ wasn't negative too, then she would get punished either by getting arrested, a restraining order, or at the least informing her parents. But no, apparently this is all hunky-dory. Ugh. Oh, and don't get me started on Kagami. Marinette teams up with Chloe to humiliate Kagami at that movie premiere thing because for whatever reason, they think that she's going to steal Adrian away and keep him in Japan. What? Why would you think that this girl has the power to do that? It's just a trip that both of their families are going on. He's gonna come back. It's so stupid. And Marinette, you know that if you succeed in humiliating her, there's a high chance that little purple butterfly is gonna show up and cause a bit of a ruckus. Heck, Chloe should know this too. But this is a season where her redemption is thrown out the window, so that checks out. And I'm right in this point because all the stuff they were planning on doing to Kagami ends up getting done to another person and he gets akumatized. And I know that in this episode, Marinette isn't 100% on board with Chloe's plan, and I think she tells her off near the end, but she didn't do too much to actually protest it. She basically went through with it, but just like Chloe did most of the work, so yeah. The other Kagami moment I know of is when in Akari Goes In, Kagami and Marinette are working together for this friendship game, where they have to follow riddles to find out where Adrian is. And Marinette gets it in her head that if they win, Kagami and Adrian will fall in love. So she decides to sabotage her and Kagami's chance of winning, and the whole first part of the episode, she is just being a total jerk towards Kagami. And she talks shit about her to be Alia behind her back, which, like, what did Kagami do besides have a relationship with Adrian? They aren't dating, they're just fencing partners, and their parents are friends. Anyway, Kagami and Marinette have to give each other their phones to take a selfie with. Marinette then thinks that Kagami and Adrian were talking to each other, or something like that, and so decides to snoop through her phone. Ziggy tries to tell her off, but Marinette ignores her and she then instantly feels bad when she realizes that Kagami has no friends and has an app about how to make them. Which, like, yeah, Marinette did feel bad and tries to make it up to Kagami, but, like, you were still being a jerk to her, and you shouldn't have been snooping. Kagami didn't. She only found out about you talking about her behind her back on accident. And Marinette doesn't really receive any consequence, except for Kagami being mad at her for like a few seconds before she's instantly calmed down and become quick friends after that villain fight. Marinette just doesn't receive any kind of punishment, which we will get into later. But, back to my point. Why is she so protective of Adrian? It's not even like they're dating, and even if they were, this behavior is still uncalled for. It's controlling and toxic, and that's not the only creepy or stalkery thing she's done. She stole Adrian's phone because she left a message of her confessing that she didn't want him to hear. It's like, girl, that's his private property. Just accept the shame. It's gonna suck, but you just have to accept the fate. You know, now that I think about it, Mara has a bad habit of stealing phones. She stole Adrian, she stole Alia's, she snooped through Kagami's. Maybe you should work on that, Mary. Oh, and do y'all know that one episode where she broke into his house as Ladybug to leave a gift and started touching everything and then laid on his bed and sniffed? Yes, you heard that right. Sniffed his pillows and knew his scent. Her words. She took a big ol' huff and said Adrian's scent. Huh? Excuse me, ma'am? What is wrong with you? Oh ho ho, and that's not even the worst of it. The one moment that I personally believe is one of the worst moments Marinette has had regarding Adrian is the episode Puppeteer 2. Those who know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those who don't, Marinette, Alia, Nino, Adrian, and Manon go to a wax museum, and Adrian decides to prank Marinette by pretending to be a wax statue to scare her, I think. I am not sure. When Marinette sees the quote unquote Adrian statue, she becomes a total creep. She literally takes a big old sniff of him. Real quick. Real quick. What the fuck is this face? Why would he make this face? Why is she making this face? Why would they do this? The process, please explain. Oh, okay. No. She then proceeds to start touching him, takes a piece of his hair, and then she tries to kiss him. And he freaks out and jumps back like, whoa, hold on there, Missy, what the hell are you doing? And then she gets mad at him. Huh? Ma'am, what? You tried to kiss him without his permission. You just did a lot of creepy stuff. You should be the one apologizing to him. I know that she didn't know that he was real, but if she's willing to do all this to a statue, yeah, this girl's got problems. This scene was just so unnecessary. They were trying to set up her getting the courage to confess, so all they had to do was have her see the statue and practice her confession on the statue and have Adrian reveal himself and ask her if she means it. And then her getting upset would have made a lot more sense because she was embarrassed and it wouldn't be creepy. Now, one more thing before I move on. I know there's more stuff, but I want to move on. Just know she has kids for him up until his 50th birthday. This show tries to explain Marinette's obsessive behavior. In the episode Derision, oh yeah, y'all knew this was going to come up sooner or later. But yes, this show's reasoning for why Marinette is the stalker she is when she was younger, she had a crush on Kim, and Chloe and Sabrina decided to organize a prank with Kim by telling him to give Marinette a box of spiders on top of the diving board at the pool. At the same time, Marinette got the courage to confess to him. Well, they pull the prank, Marinette freaks out and falls off the diving board and could have seriously hurt herself, considering the height and the position she fell, and Chloe and Sabrina recorded this and laugh. So now after this incident, Marinette gets panic attacks when she's by this pool and feels that she needs to know everything about anyone who she has interest in before she commits, especially if they are close to Chloe. Okay, so there's a few problems with this one. One being that this inclusion of this backstory causes some plot holes and inconsistencies. I won't get into it here, but there are other videos that go into it. One is Hayes Clark's video. I'll put a link in the description. Go check that out. Two, this episode also feels like that it is just here to slander Chloe's character even more, which we will talk about another day. And lastly, even though this episode gives a reason to why Marinette does what she does, it's not an excuse, which I feel is what this episode was kind of trying to do. Make an excuse for Marinette's actions, so that the fans would stop talking about it. Well, guess what? Fans are gonna shut up about it. We're not as stupid as you think we are. This would be one thing if Marinette were to receive any kind of punishment for her stalker actions, but she doesn't. Basically, anything she does that is wrong either has little to no consequences. And that actually leads us to a big critique of Marinette, besides her being a stalker, is the fact that she does not receive consequences for her actions and that she is a Mary Sue. Now, before we keep talking about Marinette, I want to explain what exactly is a Mary Sue. A Mary Sue is a female character who is perfect in every way. Examples are that she is perfect at anything she does, and is better than any other character, she is loved by everyone, and the people who don't are very obviously bad guys. They have little to no flaws, and they get no consequences for anything they do. The term Mary Sue is sometimes thrown around too loosely by people, so it's good to be careful when labeling a character as a Mary Sue. So that goes to the question. Is Marinette a Mary Sue? The answer to that is yes. And no. What I mean by that is she does have traits of a Mary Sue, but she's not a total one. Let's go to some of her traits that do make her a Mary Sue. One is the fact that she's perfect at everything. Okay, maybe not everything. She sure as hell isn't good at talking to Adrian. But when we go into the other things she's tried to do, she succeeded without really any trouble. When she first became Ladybug, yeah, she struggled a bit, but she quickly got the hang of it. And it's constantly shown to be perfect at what she does, to the point they constantly put down the other lead to make her look better. And even Master Fu says that she is the best wielder of the Ladybug Miraculous. There are other instances of her being exceptionally skilled, like the fact that she's used multiple Miraculouses. At the same time, even though Fu said that doing so could literally make her go insane. But she stumbles for a second before immediately being able to use them perfectly. And also, she never used these Miraculouses, so why is she perfectly able to use them? I guess you can say that about some of the other characters who get the Miraculous and automatically know how to use them, so I guess I won't complain about it too much. But one instance of this that actually does bug me is in the episode Reflect All, where Marinette and Adrian get their miraculous switch and become Lady Noir and Mr. Bug. When Marinette becomes Lady Noir, she instantly knows how to use the Black Cat. And I know what you're gonna say. Didn't you just say you wouldn't mind if characters instantly knew how to use new Miraculouses? Yes, but here's the thing. I wouldn't mind so much if Mr. Bug also knew how to use the Ladybug perfectly. But he doesn't. He struggles, and Lady Noir has to constantly berate him and explain to him how to use it. It just doesn't seem fair. In this episode, Ladybug and Cat Noir were having an argument about how the other doesn't understand how it feels to be the other, hence the significance of the swap. So wouldn't the message hit more if each other were trying to help the other? Use the different Miraculous? Like, Lady Noir could explain a bit of how the Lucky Charm works, and Mr. Bug could explain how to use his staff, or how to most effectively use Cataclysm. But no, we have to make Marinette look perfect and Adrian be the one who doesn't know what he's doing and constantly needs her help. Also, Lady Noir was really just rude to him this episode. Like, okay, Mary, it's not his fault he doesn't have the favor of Thomas Asterisk unlike you. When it comes to her hero life, that's all I can really recall, but let me know if there's anything I missed. In regards to her civilian life, she's still got this perfect thing going on. She's a video game prodigy, which you can excuse since they do explain that she's played before, but the time they revealed this, it did feel like it came out of nowhere. She's worked with famous people. She made a hat for Gabriel Gress, a famous fashion designer. Got the notice from another famous fashion designer, Audrey Bourgeois. Worked with rock star Jagged Stone multiple times, and was in a music video with a famous singer, who I can't remember the name of. She's also the class rep on top of all her other responsibilities, and so many people have had a crush on her. Adrian, Luca, Nathaniel, Nino, Zoe, that one sculptor dude. Seriously, someone called the police on this man. And it's basically shown that she's friends with everyone in her class. She's more popular than I think the show wants us to believe. So yeah, this show does try to convince us that Marinette is basically perfect. And the few times that she does something wrong, and you start to think, ooh, consequences, character growth, finally! The writers say, nope, she's going to get no consequences, and the most consequence she will get is the character being mad at her for a maximum of 30 seconds before she is instantly forgiven. And never bring up the problem again! Look, I can understand that it can be hard sometimes to have bad things happen to your characters. But it's necessary that if your character does something wrong, there needs to be a consequence. I'm not saying to let it end in tragedy, or have the consequence be cruel, but at least show that what they did was bad and have it affect their character. But they don't really do that with Marinette. Example is her stalking. I just went into all the creepy stuff. And the characters in this show know about this, but they never call her out on it. They never say it's bad. They either act like it's funny, cute, or not a problem, when it so obviously is. But the show never shows that. And that just makes her awful. And makes her stalking even worse because the writers don't portray it as a bad thing. Most of her lack of consequences comes from her stalking. I can't think of anything of her lack of consequence coming from something that didn't involve Adrian or her stalking. She can be really mean or insensitive sometimes. So, Marinette does have some Mary Sue traits, but she isn't a total one. She does have flaws, and she isn't perfect at absolutely everything. Don't get me wrong, they show her to be perfect at almost everything, but they do show her struggling to be a guardian, along with being a hero and a high school student, which is good and does give her a bit more character depth and gives her a chance to grow and overcome the challenge of having so many responsibilities. And her flaws, besides her stalking, is that she is clumsy and forgetful, which, though isn't deep, is at least something. So basically, Marinette is very close to being a total Mary Sue, but they do just enough to keep her away from that. Yet there is one more thing I want to bring up about Marinette. She's just boring. Look, what I mean is that she doesn't have much to her character. Now I know what you're saying. She's the guardian. She's the leader of the Miraculous heroes. She's the main character. And yes, that stuff is kind of interesting. Interesting. But besides her hero stuff, there's nothing. No really interesting backstory, no real motives outside of her hero duties or Adrian. And when they do try to give us more, like her fashion designing dreams, it barely lasts and they move on. And I just feel like they forget about it really easily. If you compare her character and motivations to Adrian, there's a big difference. Adrian's dad is the main villain. His mom is the main motivation of the villain. His birth is part of the reason this story is even happening. He has a bad home life. He's famous. He does multiple activities. He wants to get away from his bad home life and have a normal life and be a normal kid. There's so much more to him but when we look at Marinette, most of her character outside of her hero life revolves around Adrian. There's really nothing outside of that. Her parents run a successful bakery. She's had a few big breaks with her fashion. She helps make outfits for her friends. She was a class rep for a bit, and she babysit from time to time. But that's it. This show does try to give her more agency in the hero plot, which does end up hurting Adrian's character as Cat Noir. Honestly, it seems like Adrian has a lot of character on his civilian life, but not in his hero life, and Marinette has nothing in her civilian life, but a bunch of character in her hero life. There's a reason people say that Adrian should be the main character, because there's just so much more to him than Marinette. He has the most interesting things connected to him, and he has multiple goals. He wants to make friends. He wants to do things normal kids do. He wants to get away from his dad's grip, but at the same time, I think he really wishes to have a better relationship with him. And he wants a relationship with Ladybug, yet he gets to push through with that, which isn't great, but whatever. Moving on. If you compare all that to Marinette, there's nothing. Even though she does get connections to the hero world, she doesn't have really any goals. She wants to be with Adrian, and that's really it. I mean, they try to say that she wants to be a fashion designer, but they don't go anywhere with that. So she ends up feeling very bland, because her only motivation besides defeating the villain and balancing her two lives is getting with a boy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with romance being a driving force. When other shows do this, they at least try to give them something else and can be consistent with it. But Marinette's big part of her character is Adrian, and that's it. All her problems connect to him. It makes her boring, and it's just weird. I think the best way to fix this is give Marinette other goals besides Adrian. Like, she has connection with fashion, art, and design, so why not do more with that? Have her actively pursue her dreams of being a fashion designer. Have her maybe try out in multiple fashion contests. Have her take commissions from people in her community. Have her join clubs like an art or fashion club. Highlight her artistic side. Hell, you could even take some of that fashion to her hero side. Have her pull a Cardcaptor Sakura and wear multiple outfits as a hero for different situations and have them be ones she designs because she finds it fun and it's actually helpful. It is shown that Miraculous holders can change their outfits, so don't tell me it is impossible. And it would even play into the magical girl theme, since multiple outfits is an element of it. You could even have her actively enjoy baking, specifically decoration, and strive to do good at it, since it's such a big part of her family. You could even have a conflict of her parents wanting her to be a baker, and even though she likes it, she wants to be a fashion designer. And that could lead into her and Adrian bonding over that, since both of her parents want them to do something that they don't want to. And they both want to pursue their own goals. There is so much potential with her, but they don't really delve too deep into it, and instead just make her romance the central part of her character in every way. Which, again, it isn't bad to make her crush a part of her character at heart, but making that the only developed thing, it just ends up making her boring. Okay, that should be enough. That should be all I have to complain about. I hope all of y'all enjoyed this rant. If you agree or disagree with any of my points, please comment down below and I'll try to respond. I have more videos planned, not just on Miraculous, but other shows I enjoy as well. So make sure to like and subscribe for that if you like the art shown here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram to see more of my art there. I hope you enjoyed your time in the corner, and I'll see you next time. Bye!